got you.
What the fuck?
Not those guys. Those guys are just talking.
These are only
35.
How can we find?
Well, maybe it's actually it's chill.
Okay, so what we do is we first of all got to find a turquoise marker, and then we mark out that there is. Yeah, it has to be turquoise. It does not work with other colors.
You're gonna fail the test if you don't bring a turquoise pen.
Hang on, is
So
this
create a
turquoise?
right triangle.
Let me check.
Create a right triangle here, and we know that okay, this length is 5,
Keith, I know your color
and this
spectrum.
length is 3,
Keith, I know your
and
color
then
theory.
so L
Yeah, L.
is equal to 5 squared plus 3 squared, all square rooted using Pythagoras' theorem. Okay, so this is total. So what we can do now is we can say, hey, you know, we can generalize this. Okay? So we can generalize this idea, say, for a line.
People are joining. People are joining our class on the Discord.
Wait, no, I can't.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna give you a role so that way you
For
can
line
send videos in a
segment
certain
at,
chat so you can rewatch.
A comma
Enjoy
B
your phone storage.
and C comma
gonna be
D,
God.
the length
I think 20
is square root of we can just go D minus B squared plus C minus A squared.
The program was moved.
Okay,
Your Chromebook, turn it on, set it up on top of your backpack. Yeah.
Oh yes, A minus A squared.
so you can write it that way. The way it's written in your textbook is a little bit more clear. I should have followed my notes. X1, I got a funny story to tell here. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay, then the length is equal to X2 minus X1 minus Y2 minus
I'll just send a picture
Y1.
of this.
Okay, so this is called the distance formula. And if Pythagoras was here right now, you'd say, distance formula, my last name is not distance. Okay, because it's just the Pythagoras. There's some squaring going on here. And there's some plussing going on here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the funny story I have about this is, see this X2? So there was somebody in here, maybe it's the other sections, who couldn't read their own handwriting.
Well, that was me.
They wrote they wrote X2, and then in the next line it became X squared.
Oh my god.
I remember.
Okay?
Wait, no, that wasn't me. I did mess up my handwriting. It's similar issue.
Okay. So there were 3 people in the 3 sections, and they were all in the same section, who couldn't read their own handwriting, and so they copied to the next section, next line in their algebra wrong. It's like, well, if you can't read your handwriting, you expect me to read your handwriting? But at least I kind of knew what it was supposed to be. But anyway, okay, but going from x subscript 2 to x squared, that's just not allowed.
That's not bad.
That's just not okay. I mean, I could,
It's not even evil
And then just
algebra, it's
all
just
wrong.
wrong.
I mean,
Oh no, I did the same
this would be
thing.
like video outtakes that you could make.
Oh
Okay.
god, pre-calc bloopers. No.
Okay, so the next thing we come to is
It's a
then-
sitcom. The situation is
Bunch of
bad.
idiot high schoolers just
the
like.
equation of a circle. Okay, so if this is located at H and K, center
Two
and has
calculus, but there's a
radius
budget.
R, then the
It's so
circle
unrealistic. Students
equation
don't get budgets.
is
They don't get
going to be x minus
We're just
H
class.
squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Okay, so this is no surprise, right? This is all from AGS something or other. Okay.
How come I don't remember this?
Does this? Okay. So how does this follow from this? Okay. So this is you're basically using the same thing. Okay. This distance formula. Okay. You're saying that there is a line here, and you're just going to say, I want to find trace that path such that the distance is the same. Okay. So what are all those paths? All those paths. What is that path? Those are all those line segments that have this constant r, this length r, and then you substitute in these variables because you're basically this thing is all these points here, all these points along here, and they all are distance r from the center. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Okay, might be a weird way of looking at it, but all is equal to r. Okay. Okay, so
Running out of stuff.
so if you have, let's say, okay, so this is 2 and this is minus 3. So if I have a circle with radius 4, okay? So something like this. What's the equation of that? So that this is going to be x minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 4 squared. I'm sorry, I didn't label this. This r is 4. 4. So this is x plus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 16. Okay, so that should be, yes. Sorry, say that again. How did I radius score? Oh, this is just an example. Yeah, this is just an example here, okay? So this is an example of just how do you write the equation, okay? Example. Okay? This is an example how you write that, okay? Next thing we want to do. Okay, so this, so then they want to make sure that you can do all sorts of word problems. This is the problem that stick there. Okay. So, so this is example 6 in your textbook. It says, an a word problem. Let's see how we do it.
We're recording.
In a town.
The entire class is getting recorded.
Okay, the main.
Actually, just pull up like 3 of us.
In a town, Main Street runs
I don't
east to
think
west,
Discord will let
and
us know
Meridian
this.
Road runs north to south. A pizza store is located on Meridian, 2 miles south of the intersection of Main and Meridian. The store advertises that it delivers within a 3-mile radius. How much of Main Street do they cover? Okay, so what's the important information? So these geographical thingy problems, they usually like to draw a picture. So it says here, Main Street runs east to west. Okay, that's east to west, right? If you don't know east and west, then this problem's going to be really hard. Main Street.
Never saw you.
Meridian Street runs north to south. So they do intersect. Because these are perpendicular. So Meridian.
East and west wrong after doing what he said.
Never waffles.
Okay. A pizza store is located on Meridian, 2 miles south of Main Street.
Never waffle.
So
Eat
one-
soggy.
So this is 2 miles south. So this is
Never waffle. Eat soggy.
so this is 2 miles. Okay. If the store advertises that it delivers within a 3-mile radius, how much of Main Street do they cover? Within a 3-mile radius. So here's the store, and they cover a 3-mile radius. So that's 1, 2, 3.
Like the airport is here.
Logarithm.
Yeah, it's like, ah, yeah, they're past with this.
So this is the area that the
I could not do that.
deliveries can occur. So how much of Main Street do they cover? So really what you want to do is you want to know.
Let's be honest. Delivering 3 miles, they're going out of business.
Yeah.
Gasoline.
I mean,
It
you in
it would
like
depend on
New York.
how like tightly packed. the
Yeah, you see,
place
Colton,
is.
there's 30 million people per mile.
Yeah.
Welcome
All
to
of
New
them
York.
crave pizza.
Yeah, this is Hong Kong, so they're like
Oh.
they're like apartment
Bro is
40-story
walking the
apartment
pizzas.
buildings all along Main Street.
500 stories up.
Yeah.
Man,
Okay,
why
so basically they're asking, what's this length in red here? Okay, how do we figure this out? Okay, well, let's write down a couple things. Let's write down, how about, okay, so this is 3 miles. So this is 3. So we can say, and you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna make this problem simpler by imposing a coordinate system that runs right through this pizza store. Okay? And I'm going to use Meridian Street as my y-axis. Okay? So you can see now that if I impose the coordinate system right there, it will simplify the equation of the circle, which is the more complex of these two equations. Okay? So I could impose the coordinate system to be like right there, but then the equation of the circle would be a little bit more complex. It'd have some constants in it, and I'd have to do more algebra and probably make more errors. Okay? So this is a case where if you choose the right coordinate system, the location of it, you can make life a little bit simpler. Okay, so let's do x squared plus y squared is equal to 3 squared. So that's the circle, right? And the line is going to go through there. So the line is y is equal to 2. so what's this distance here? This distance here is where, you know, if we drop it down, it's where, I want to find these coordinate points, right? I know it's 2, something 2, and this is also something 2. Okay, so how do I find this, this length here? Well, this length is where this line intersects this circle. How do I do that? Well, I have 2 equations in 2 variables. I should be able to do this. X squared plus, I'll swap this into there. 4 squared is equal to 3 squared. So x.
4 squared?
So y, sorry. Another. So I am not immune to careless errors. Okay. So, but after grading, you know, 80 of the same paper, I know what the careless errors are. Yes. Yes, Frosty. Y equal 2, that's this line here. So this is Main Street. This is circle of delivery. So y is equal to 3 squared minus 2 squared is 9 minus 4, which is 5. So this is, okay, so a typical error would be, oh, this is 3 squared minus 2 squared, so the result must be 1 squared. No, that's not right. Okay. So this is x squared is equal to 5. Sorry, another careless error. Right? I haven't square rooted anything yet, so. Okay. And this is plus and minus. So this point here is going to be minus square root of 5, and this is going to be plus square root of 5. And so, and guess what? Oh, look at that. It's actually symmetric. It's like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Minus square root of 5, and this is square root of 5. So this distance here, so how much is this distance?
Huh?
Are you okay?
No.
Everett, how much is this distance here, the red line, the red segment? Come on, Everett, this is softball question for you.
It is 2 square root of 5.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 square root of 5, I don't know, miles is of Main Street is covered. Okay. So this is a word problem. Respond with a sentence, or at least write down something like this.
Just the absolute value. Okay, that's uptown.
Something like that. Okay. Let's see, what else? Okay, so that's the end of, let's see, this class goes till 12:10?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to do part of chapter 5 too, because this is pretty straightforward, right? Is this pretty straightforward? Okay, so in the canvas, you have formative, okay? The formative was set up by Mrs. Joyner. It is,
My ass did not catch his thing.
Valid reaction.
so we're gonna have some time in next class to do the formative for this class, for section 5.1 and 5.2. I want to start into 5.2 and get part of that covered because we are a little bit on a
Question 7.
tight timeline. So the reason we're on a tight timeline is because of all this extracurricular activities that are going on. And you guys are, or at least some of you guys are going to be MIA. Oh, this doesn't go on.
This doesn't belong. And this doesn't belong.
No,
Okay, great.
I
Got
know
more weight
what it is.
than I thought.
Gold is a good efficiency.
Okay,
Also,
so,
Getting an art.
section or chapter 5.2, okay? Sometimes I call it chapter, I don't know why. Okay, so some terminology. This is the
In specific cases.
no, just in general. For value. It's fine.
angle. And this is the terminal side.
Doesn't work sometimes.
Terminal side, okay? So we just want to make sure of our terminology, okay? And
That looks cool.
if we have
Oh, that's such a general.
a coordinate system, if we have a coordinate system,
You can run that.
that we measure angles from the standard position, okay? So that means
But it's like,
the initial side is always on the positive x-axis, okay? Standard
yeah, anything.
position, the, Liam, you gravitated back to the obscured position.
Yeah, I realized I preferred this spot anyways.
Really, you like
Are you
hiding?
that bad?
No, it's fine.
What do you think Gavin thinks?
Mr. Louis is scary. What are you talking about?
So he wants to be closer. Okay. So I would highly recommend that seat or this seat, okay? I would highly recommend it, okay? It's
Kevin, you
annoying
get
to wait
notifications.
for me to
Okay,
keep
you get
stepping
some
aside,
notice.
okay?
They're good.
So in the standard position,
Oh, invite me to the disco.
measure is,
No.
angles
Discord.
are measured from the positive x-axis, okay? So you start here and you measure in, in a counterclockwise direction. So this would be positive, okay? So this would be positive, positive 75 degrees or something like that, okay? And if you go the other way, then it's a negative, okay? So you gotta make sure you get this right, because we're gonna be screwing around and going positive and negative and and so you need to know where that is. Do you remember those nasty Ferris wheel problems?
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so the Ferris wheel
Those
starts here and it goes 135 degrees, and then the frog jumps off. How far did he land? Did he go splat? Because he can only handle 10 vertical feet of fall. Standard position. Angles are measured from the positive x-axis in a counterclockwise direction. Okay. That's how. Okay. So, knowing this standard, okay, now once we agree on the standard, then we can start screwing around and doing all sorts of Ferris wheel problems. Wonderful Ferris wheel problems. Yay. Okay. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about? No, we don't want to talk about that. Do you want to talk about? Okay. We will talk about jeez. That's white. we'll spend 3 minutes on this. Okay. So we are gonna talk about this infamous thing.
The unit circle.
The unit circle, okay?
I think these are
Okay, so,
I can put myself
so this is, so this is 30, this is 40, 45, golly.
Unit circle are the big enough.
Circles are fine until you start slapping your roots onto them.
It's bad.
Unit circles are difficult. Made by child.
So I'm gonna leave it as an exercise for you guys to look up in your textbook what these other ones are, okay?
Wait.
And this 30 degrees looks pretty shallow, right? And I think I've drawn it reasonably close.
So shallow.
30 degrees is kind of interesting. Who here skis? Does anybody ski? Okay. So when snow falls on a 30-degree slope, this it can accumulate. But this is also the slope. Around 30 degrees is the avalanche slope because snow accumulates. Any steeper, it usually just piles up and then it just naturally avalanches. But 30 degrees, it piles up, it stays there. A skier comes across it, cuts across, traverses the slope, and then it just whoosh, slab avalanche.
GG's.
So that's kind of interesting. 30 degrees is actually also happens to be the slope, the angle that advanced skiers love to ski. It's just the perfect experience. Anyway, and it happens to be right in that avalanche.
What angle
avalanche
this
zone.
hill
Okay, so we are gonna, next class, we're gonna develop this more. Right? And then you are going to memorize the hell of it, hell out of it. Okay? That's it. That's it for today. You guys can go look at your formative, and you can also look at the formative for section 5.2. Okay? They both have to be done, especially for those people who are doing dual credit.